Welcome to a new episode of the TV Watercooler Podcast. In today's episode, we'll be speaking with Sharon Case, who is celebrating her 30th anniversary with The Young and the Restless. The actress gives the TV Watercooler an exclusive preview of the exciting week ahead for her character, Sharon Newman. Case also reflects on how Cassie's death continues to drive storyline almost 20 years later, why the show keeps going back to the Nick, Sharon, and Phyllis triangle, and offers a tease about a potential reunion between Sharon and Nick. Check it out.
Thank you so much for taking the time, and congratulations on 30 years.
Thank you. I know, right? I can't believe it's been 30.
Did you ever think that, something that was supposed to be short term at the time would blossom into 30 incredible years?
Not 30, no. I mean, I know that often actors do long stints on soap operas, but I didn't know that I was going to be one of the long-term vets one day, but I'm so pleased about it. It's a dream come true, really.
Yeah. So Sharon's having a rough go at the moment with her mental state. Faith's accident, it's brought up a lot of painful memories for her from the time that Cassie died. Did you know back then that Cassie's death would not only change the course of Sharon's life, but it's gotten so much mileage for the show?
I know the mileage. No, I had no idea. When I found out that Cassie was going to die, I mean, I felt the same way that everyone on the cast and probably the audience too. It's just like, what a tragic story. It wasn't until later in hindsight we realized how much more story that would bring about. But yet, even today, it's still telling some of the most poignant and relevant story for some of the characters, for Sharon and others as well, because this current story involves so many of the cast members. And who would have ever thought that, one storyline, one thing that happened spun off so much forever and ever. But, another example of that is Phyllis. When Phyllis then came into the picture after Cassie's death, and broke up Nick and Sharon essentially. That spun off so much because in everybody's life because of Nick's involvement with Phyllis, and they had Summer and they got married, and no longer did you have Nick and Sharon, this like 10-year married happy couple. Their child had died. There was an affair. There was a remarriage, a divorce. Wow, it just spun off so much.
Yeah, that was another question I had. So all three of you, Michelle and Josh, are celebrating 30 years this year together.
Yeah, I'm so glad we're doing it together and it's not just me. It's nice to have great company.
Now, back when you mentioned their affair, did you think that the triangle would also last so many years, or did you think that Nick's gonna have another one-off affair? But here we are, 20 years later with that affair.
You know what? I think that it's been enough years. We know what really has worked, the best. And Nick and Sharon and Phyllis are just that triangle that works. We do explore other things, other stories and couplings, but we come back to this because this is the original, and that's, what works. You can't do that at all times solid for 30 years. You need to branch off here and there and do other stories, but with the characters. But you get back to basics after that. There's comfort in that.
Now going back to Cassie's death and planning out a storyline that would impact the show for so many years, do you think we'll ever see those kind of carefully crafted long-term storylines again in daytime? One that can be so impactful and so layered that could be mined for years to come?
I don't know. With the right writer, we should be able to. We've told good stories, many of them over the years, and had great triangles. So we'll see.
And what's it been working like with Linden Ashby again? I know when he came back last year, it was so quick, but now that he's playing a figment of Sharon's imagination, you guys get to play more of those beats. What's that like?
Oh, it's so fun. I'm loving that he's back. And you're right, it was fast last time. I think that he had another project he was due to work on. So we were lucky to have him for the amount of time we did. And what we did kind of set up what we're doing now. So that worked out. Now here we are telling this huge story that it does begin, with Sharon's feelings over Cassie, and then camera person comes into play in it. But then next week, in the air show next week, there's the really, really big show that happens where an event happens that spins off a lot of things and a lot of characters. And that will air next week. So it won't just be Sharon and Cameron, it'll be a lot of people. But also next week is the anniversary episode, Sharon's anniversary episode, which ties into that as well.
Okay, so just to clear things up, so there's a big event that happens next week, and plus your 30th anniversary standalone. So those are two separate episodes.
Yes, I think they're back to back next week. They might be Thursday, Friday. But the first one might be sooner than Thursday. I'm not sure. I think for sure though, yeah, the anniversary one is Friday. That's Sharon's episode. But it all has to do with the same. Next week is a big week where this big storyline really gets going, or at least it takes its next big step from where we've seen it go so far.
Who should be the most afraid, Lucy, Daniel, or Phyllis?
Oh, all of them. They all should be afraid. And they all are. They are all Sharon's targets. So, and Sharon's going through a crisis right now, so they better look out.
So now we discussed Josh having his anniversary episode this past year. It included some flashbacks. Did that get you thinking too, for your own? And did you have like a wish list of flashbacks?
I've been so busy, I didn't get a chance to really think that over, nor did I assume after doing Joshua's episode, one-off episode, his standalone episode really had more to do with just his character, not necessarily the storylines at hand. But I was really pleased to be so much a part of it. It did not make me think, oh, my anniversary is coming, what would I choose? I didn't think that at all. I've been so busy with this storyline I'm currently on, but they did ask me if I had any, any clips that I really, really wanted to include. And I did offer some, but you know what? If I just sit here and talk about what were my favorite episodes, they don't necessarily tie into the storyline that we're telling, and the clips of Sharon that we tell in her recall. They need to do that. There's enough of Sharon's shows over 30 years to choose from. It was better off to choose ones that just kind of correlate and tie into the storyline at hand, because some of my favorite episodes or stories that just, I don't know, they didn't really fit into this one Sharon episode. And the storyline is, I always say my favorite is when Sharon broke out of prison and she went on the run from the police. She stopped at a gas station bathroom and dyed her hair dark, but it's like something she bought at a drugstore. Oh my God, that was a dream come true scene for an actor to do that. Because wow, what a setup. And I love the whole thing of breaking out of prison too. And I loved shooting at him. I mean, I like a lot of the action stuff. And that wasn't really everything we were looking for this episode. But you know what? They're some of my favorites, and you can always find them somewhere in the archives and watch them.
Yeah. That she was off on the farm for a bit and totally
yeah, she was. And that was so long ago, we tend to forget that ever happened. She had dark hair, her name was Sherry, and she was on the farm with the lambs.
Yes, I remember the lambs. Yeah.
It was cute.
Yeah. So now, is there any hope for Shick fans? Could the events of next week bring Nick and Sharon closer together or drive them further apart?
Well, throughout this coming storyline, Nick and Sharon, are both involved in it quite heavily, and they work together on this. Nick helps Sharon out a lot. He's very much involved. So you see a lot of Nick and Sharon, and they do get closer and closer. And what does that mean when we're done telling the drama at hand? Does that mean that this will lead them to getting together? Well, they certainly bond. So you never know. I hate to say yes for sure when I don't really know, because I don't know a lot of advanced story. But just looking at it myself, sure, yeah, it could happen.
Right. Are there any other characters that that you've played as Sharon, or shared scenes with as Sharon to maybe explore again? Like, she was very close with Jack. They were even married. The Nikki stuff, working with Melody, you guys both, like, even with Cameron Kirsten's body in the sewer.
That was so fun.
Yeah.
I love working with Melody. I look forward to the day when she and I have storyline again. And that was great that she was with me and we worked together to drag Cameron Kirsten's body around the first time around. But we'll see what else can come for us. But even just our simple cat fights we had, I loved them all. There was that scene more recently, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, where Sharon pours milk over her head. I love just something simple like that. I love their relationship.
Now, how does it feel celebrating, such a huge milestone being celebrated by the network, by the show? In contrast, over at General Hospital, they've let someone go after 20 years and they're getting so much backlash. And I guess this is like a universal thing about, working where you feel valued and appreciated. Is that very much there on set with you?
Yeah, I mean, it is. Well, certainly this anniversary has shown me that, because I've gotten so many acknowledgments and flowers and so many nice gestures, and including the show and the storyline. Yeah, I never looked at it that way before, but now that this is happening, it makes me think, wow, this is so great to feel appreciated. And after 30 years, I love it. But I didn't expect it. It kind of surprised me, because I'm so focused right now on this storyline. So this kind of blindsided me. Oh yeah, that's right. It's my 30-year anniversary. And right, I have to celebrate that, or we have to do something about it. Versus, like, say, my 25th anniversary. I did a lot. I went to Monte Carlo and I did a big press tour. I did a lot of publicity. I got a lot of really great congratulations from the network and so forth. And that, I felt like at the time I was just soaking it up and loving it. And this time I didn't expect anything. I just expect, hey, I work here, get to work.
Yeah, nice. So as a TV blog, we talk about it, like, we give a lot of TV recommendations and stuff. What are you watching, or what have you binge watched recently?
Well, I've been watching things that are a little bit more relevant to what I'm filming, sort of more as a study. I mean, I look at popular or current television and sometimes not, but I'll tend to watch things that teach me or show me something that is relating to what I'm currently doing myself. And so I've been watching, I don't want to give it away, but I like, did I watch that I could really say? Well, you know what? I watched, this is pretty crazy. I watched Kinds of Kindness recently. That is a wacky film. I can't say that has anything necessarily to do with Sharon or storyline, but it did for me more as a performer, because that movie is so out of the box and it's crazy. What I study in that movie is just how committed the actors are to what they're doing and in this imaginary world that they're in, because it's so outrageous. It's so sociopathic. And the actor has to really believe in what they're doing and believe in the circumstances, or believe that there's nothing wrong with what they're doing without a second thought. You have to be completely convinced, because if the actor thinks something, the audience will see it. And so you have to really sharpen those skills sometimes as a performer. And I think that's what that film helped me do, was watching those actors. They're great actors. Forget about the film. I mean, that's a great director too, and the story is crazy, but those performers are just wonderful.
Awesome. No, yeah, I loved it. Especially, let's go watch a movie and then you're like, whoa.
That's not necessarily your typical entertainment movie. It's meant for other things, I suppose. A lot of things. For me, it was a study of acting, because those actors are so great, and I just couldn't get over Emma Stone's dance in the end. And you know what? I found myself going around here dancing like that, just to keep that attitude, because there's a lot going on that's kind of crazy around here in my storyline. So I see Josh Griffith in the hallway and we talk about that movie and that dance, and I like doing it. And I thought, oh, I'm gonna throw that dance in somewhere into Sharon's storyline. Watch out, I'm gonna do it. I mean, I joke when I say that.
I would love to see, love
That would
to
be hilarious.
as a dance off at the end, yeah.
Yeah, like we all have a dance off. That would be great.
And then to Nadia's theme, to the YNR theme, yeah.
There you go. A rock and roll version of it, maybe.
Danny singing.
Yeah, we need that.
It's very fun. I can't wait to watch next week. I'm hyped up. So I
Yeah,
can't
good.
wait.
Let me know what you think.
I'd love to. Thank you so much for taking the time. Best of luck. Congratulations on 30 years, and enjoy everything that comes with that. The more interviews, the more fanfare. Very, very well deserved. Fans are very happy to see you shine on screen. So thank you.
Oh, I'm glad to know that. Thank you so much.